Hi, how are you?
I'm good, good. I'm excited today. And I was like, I loved our conversation last time, and I was like, okay, this time we have to do face to face,
Yeah, yeah.
so we
Yeah,
can we can actually see our laughs, So I'm hoping we could have more laughs today.
I
Oh, of course,
know.
of course. It's
It's
always
so
laughs with
nice to
you.
see you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for saying yes to this,
Hmm.
so we can share your story and your wisdom to more people.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I will try. I will do my best, guys. I will
No,
definitely do my best.
you did great last time. Last time we had a conversation with you.
Yes.
But yeah, no, we're excited for you to be here. It's a great Sunday. And yeah, so you ready?
I guess.
All right. All right. Well, if you didn't know, Monica, we told the audience, but we're going to talk to you for about 30 minutes, and then for the last 15 minutes, if there are audience questions, which there were before,
Sure.
we're gonna engage the audience, and they'll be able to ask you some of their personal questions.
Perfect. Perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
Great, great, great. All right. So you were born in India, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what was that experience like for you?
It's colorful. It's exciting. I mean, they're always everywhere. It's like you have to follow your tradition and custom. But then I know, like, it's coming from you guys, like, of course, you don't know, but it was my home, like growing up in your home with the comfort and understanding of everything. And of course, a lot of intervening, like people always very much interested in everybody's life and what they're doing or not. So I always had this idea. And then, like how every other country has this pressure where you are like, okay, people are watching, society going to talk about it. So we also had the same thing. But
Yeah.
we had a very, I would say that in today's world, very organic and sustainable life kind of a thing. Like we grew up in a way where we know that, okay, we need to work hard to get better and something like that. So, like working hard, getting a good education, that was how I've been raised.
Mhm.
And I think that's the thing I know basically, like
Yeah.
and then using education for the better purposes, like be a wise person. And like my parents always taught me, no matter whatever you become, if you're not a good human being and if you don't have a right mindset, it doesn't really matter. So I always used to focus on, like, I want to be a better human being. I want to be my best version of myself. And so that was it all about, and then of course the love from my family was always there, so unconditionally somehow.
Yeah.
Love from a family is everything, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, that's build your foundation for everything.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, at the age of 19, you experienced a horror. I would call it a horror because it was, an acid attack that changed your life. And when you're 19, all your dreams, you're becoming your own adult. You have all these plans. How how did your life change from that incident?
I mean, it's a whole upside down, like someone, you are living your life the way you want it. You have your dreams, ordinary dreams, extraordinary dreams, whatever you have, and you're minding your own business, and suddenly your dreams and your life get interrupted. It's like the story is been written in a certain way, but then somebody changed the narrative of it. It's
Yeah.
and then being a woman, how society see you. It's all about, like, okay, she's a girl and now she's completely deformed, and then she's all burned, and her life is done, like she's done, and that kind of an angle. And but the whole point of when I've been a patient for like almost like 9 years, because I had to come and back and forth from the hospital and everything. And like you guys mentioned, like this phase is after 46 reconstructive surgery, and then I've learned my ways to move it around and, put on a makeup in a way which I look normal. So suddenly when you are naturally born in a certain way with the look and everything, and now you are fighting to getting everything back so that people don't see you differently, because in acid attack case, it's not about like the mental and psychological, but we also have the visible physical harm, which is visible to anyone. And we kind of give people a lot of curiosity, and then people are get inquisitive, like, what happened to you? What happened to you? That kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And but being a patient, I was in a trauma center for many months, and where I've been told by many renowned doctor that she will not survive, not might, but they were very clear about that because the percentage or amount my body has taken that acid burn was severe. And but as a patient, when people are talking about you and you are lying on your hospital bed, you don't know what is they are talking about, all you want to do is like win that battle, just do that. And since I wasn't aware how deep it was from as a patient or as a human being, for me it was all like, it's a burn, it's get better, and then I will go back to my college and continue my education and something like that. So my whole focus was always been like, I have to finish what I started. Like, I have to finish my education. I did my best to get into those colleges, and then I have to finish that thing. And but then doctors came, and then my dad came to me, and then they were saying that you should tell her or ask her what she wants to do, because things has changed for good, forever. And dad gave me two choice: stay home and getting support from him unconditionally, or else. He didn't mention the second part, or is like, what else do you want to do it? And I said, okay, I'm not dying without an education or without a degree, so I have to get back to my education. And so help me to get better soon so that I go back. That was the whole idea, was always been, and that's where my dad says, that's what I wanted to hear from you. And then he did his best in his own capacity to get me as normal as possible, or at least, the whole process was learning how to speak again, drink again, eat again, and started recognizing people again, because I got into trauma where I started losing memory of certain things. Yeah. So that whatever I did, and I joined my college after 1 year break. And I went on a wheelchair, or I had to climb staircase and everything, and it was a delicate situation. But then, I always believe there is a light after a long dark tunnel. So the whole process of 9 years was my dark tunnel, where I'm going a step ahead. I mean, you have no choice. You have to move ahead, right? You can't go back. You can't change the past. So I was more dedicated into working on, I have to get better. This is my present, and I have to make sure that I am going to get my future, at least at some places where I don't lose myself completely,
Yeah. And, again, we spoke previously a little bit about this, but the strength that it takes to not only, sort of go through what you had during it, that's challenging, but to realize that you still have a future, that you're still here, and that there's still things to accomplish. I can't imagine wanting to go back to college and still consider education to be one of the top of my priorities.
And the kids me,
Yes, kids. But then fortunately, because I studied in college where people are like creative side, like we were from the design background, and then we kind of get trained and educated to think and have a better perspective toward everything. So I think that helped a lot in many ways. And like we see that people are always, we always try to see wrong in people, the negative part in people. But then I always believe that if I'm a good person, if I will be good, the other person will be good to me. So, and then at some point in your life, when you suffer from something like this, nothing really matters, You don't need a society. You don't need people to, verify your existence in the world. It's all about, what do I want? Am I answerable to these people? Are they going to take care of me forever? No. So why do I care what they think? And even if they are bad mouthing anyone, it doesn't matter. And as long as it's not coming to my ears, do whatever you want. I mean, just be who you are, because now, since as a woman, you lost your physical appearance, you lost deformity, and then you became a disabled, medical terms in many ways. If your mind is working, education is what I could get, because if, and I've studied fashion, then the fashion industry is very much about beauty and appearances and everything. Yes. So it was like, a lot of people says like, oh my God, maybe fashion industry is not for them. I was like, okay, you know what? I studied hard to know fashion, and I think I'm going to redefine fashion in my own way. And that's who I am, because if I've been taught well, I can redefine my own structure about the fashion and the silhouettes and the style and everything. That's what I did. And the people who hire me because of my resume and my work, rather than rejecting me because of my face, I don't want to work with them, because I don't need those people around me, those who make me feel bad, because I have enough already on my plate. I don't need another person to tell me like, oh, I'm not. And I'm like, come on, like, seriously, you want to hire me as an assistant designer, hire me based on my work, not my face. I mean, eventually my hands are working, not my face is working. And I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be, front desk person or a face of your company and everything. Come on. So basically, there was always a time where I had to choose myself and my mental health over top of what other people think. So my society became very narrow, and I selected people who I'm going to relate with. I made my own community, and if you cannot dwell with my community, take out. Yeah, you're not there. I mean, life is too short for me to please everyone. I have enough on my head. Am I good? I'm not. And I don't need to hear from third person to tell me like, okay, so
no.
Yeah, we are 7 billion people. Like, go ahead, do that, whatever you want to do with other person. Yeah. Probably I'm not your person. So I always had this idea, it's like, good people always around.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing to keep in mind anyway, just to, keep things in perspective, and like you said, keep people who love you, and appreciate you for you around you. You don't need a massive circle of people, of enablers or whatever, It's just keep your people close to you, people who care, people who mean something significant,
Yeah.
Definitely. There is a checklist now for people. I was like, check, you are this, okay, check. Okay, good. You are good to go. Welcome to Monica Singh's club, okay, now you're a good person. Come.
Exactly.
Very exclusive club, basically.
Do you, this is just random, was not even part of the questions we're playing, but in my mind I'm thinking, because a lot of people ask me the same question, but for me, I went through a genocide of 4, so I hadn't formed my reality yet. But they always ask, do you think your life would have been differently if you did not experience, you have been a different person if you did not experience a genocide? So for you, if you didn't experience what you experienced at 19 years old, do you think your world, who you are, will have been a little different?
Okay, so usually what I have noticed in people, they want to tag you with as a victim, because they want to see what you are. But then I also say that the victim has a period sign in front of it, ahead of it. But as a survivor, we get comma, because being a survivor means we keep going. And then people, when they say, it's like, oh, can you imagine if this didn't happen to you, what would have happened? I was like, I mean, I can imagine right now what will happen next in my future. I want to marry. Never mind. But the whole point is like, how can I say what it would have been? Like it might have been more normal. You know, at the age of certain, you get married, you get 2 kids or 1 kid or whatever you are. You're nagging. You become a nagging wife, and you are like, damn, you didn't let me fulfill my dreams because you didn't because. Yeah. The whole thing is about these experiences is unfortunate, yes, but then it should not be always something. Your story, your scars should not keep you away from your ultimate goal and desire and dreams, right? I mean, like I have a scar all over my body and my face, and then if I want to get depressed and thinking about all those things all the time, like I can get depressed anytime, but then I believe it was more waste of time, because it's like every 3-4 months I do feel depressed. I feel like everyone in my age move ahead, they have someone in their life or they have kids or something like that. Right. I do feel that sometimes, which is natural. If I don't, then something is wrong with me, but I do feel those things. But the whole point is I give good amount of every situation, every mental state comes in my mind, like I've acknowledged it, like I don't fight against for it, because it's unnecessary to fight against what you're feeling right now. Right. So I feel like, okay, I'm depressed. I'm going to cry for 2 hours. And then I feel like, oh my God, I wasted 2 hours just for crying for nothing, because nothing is rectifying anything. You are not getting back your 2 hours, which you are thinking about would have been happen. I mean, you are not thinking about what if I do this and it could be a better future, or I can best make of my present. So people ask, they gonna continue to ask, and then I chose who to tell my story. It's like I just care. I was like curious. Yeah, good. Yeah, very nice. I'm like, okay, I don't care anymore unless until I feel like, okay, I need to tell this person, or it's just like, I just don't tell it unless until somebody says like, oh, we were curious. So I see that, okay, these are the curious soul. They just want to know, and they're going to get drink and get out. So I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Yeah, nothing happened to me. Yeah, nothing happened to me. Important people get to know.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing. I really love that answer.
Yeah, I do too. And it kind of goes, we talk a lot about victimizing ourselves, and sort of that whole process that goes around that. I guess that kind of segues into our next question about forgiveness, about your healing journey and your journey to forgive, does that play a significant part in the whole victimizing or victimization of yourself? I mean, you're forgiving, because it's been some time.
You're forgiving, accepting, all these things.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing what happened to me, it wasn't like a terrorist attack or something where I don't know my, assailant who did this to me. It's like the people who did this to me is like among us. You don't know what goes on in their mind. So mine are more dangerous in that capacity, that you never know that your no can make somebody ill-minded or evil-minded to do something like that. Yeah. So when it comes to forgiveness, like my whole healing process took a while. It's not like that I am this chirpy right now. I wasn't before. I mean, of course, there's a lot of trust factor I lost in humanity for a long time, and slowly it came back, and I started feeling that not every human being is a bad human being and everything. But when it comes to forgiveness, usually when people continue to make you feel victim of something and you're trying to be a survivor, there is something comes up where you are constantly feeling sorry about yourself. I mean, again, but it's up to you, right? You want to feel sorry about yourself, or you want to just keep going, because honestly, in the world, how you feel about yourself is you. Like, so I started saying that, like, okay, I forgive myself. I forgive not feeling and getting better little before. And I forgive myself in a way that if I goof up something right now or in the future, it's a process which I have to go through to learn certain things in life. But then forgiving that person who did this to me doesn't bring justification to the people who did to so many other people. Acid attack survivors right now is more than 10,000 all over the world right now. And then if we constantly saying that we forgive them, what are we trying to do? A martyr? Or like, what are we trying to do? Gandhi, Mother Teresa? I'm like, I don't care. I'm not the one to, I'm not going to forgive you, but I definitely want law system to work faster towards violence against women so that people get to learn from their mistakes as well, because as a human being, they are prone to get the punishment or a system or a penalty when then they stop doing the bad thing. I think as a human being, I believe that law system is the one who's supposed to say sorry to all these survivors who they never provided any justice, and they have to act more into that. So yeah, not too much forgiving side. I forgive the situation because I survived. But I feel like there are many acid attack survivors when they got attacked, when they were severe, they couldn't survive. Many died as well. So who are we trying to impress here? I say forgive them, but then how can I forget about the part that where I was lying in a hospital bed, skinless, because all the skin got ripped off and the rest of the skin got scraped off by the doctor to put a patch on other body. There was a time I was in a complete, like a mummification zone, like it is that bad. And all the pain, what my parents and family has gone through, why I'm forgiving that person. Like I'm not trying to prove to be a person that, who can take it, everything. I think it's a fight which I am taking on behalf of every violence against women survivor here. So that's what my answer would be.
That's true. And that's also, like you just mentioned, also that attack on you was also an attack on your family. How did your family handle it? How are they even still handling it?
I'm telling you, like there's certain part, everyone is still suffering. I mean, I am laughing. Yes, I'm in a better place before than I am right now. So everybody still suffer. Their youngest kid, the daughter who lost her ability and the whole physical and everything, and then every entire family moved to hospital that time. They started staying in my room because I needed them constantly. So like how you say you physically, mentally, when you are in such a situation, your parents, your family started looking 10 years older than what they really are. That's what the situation is. My dad was like not going to office. He was constantly there because I needed a lot of blood transfusions and, all those things, plasmas and everything. And my parents, they used to keep those blood bags wrapped in their body so that it stay warm or something as well sometime, because each surgery used to require so much blood that time. So everybody was involved completely. Somebody there to feed me water with a spoon and everything. So, and then on top of it, I was physically facing all that, but then they're the one who are stepping out in the society. And then I became from the girl next door to the girl whose illegitimate affair gone bad, so everybody started questioning to my family, what happened, why did you do this? And everybody's suggesting my family to take some action or do something about that. But then my dad says the priority is to keep my daughter alive, And then simultaneously we started our legal cases, and it went for a while. But like I said, I still haven't got the justice. So, I mean, whatever the file law system says, that they are done with my case. But as far as my perpetrator is living normal life, it cannot be done, at least not from my side. And I have to choose my life over fighting toward this case and keep stretching my life for another 10 years. Like, I can't do that. I mean, my family gave up a lot. They had to arrange money because, plastic surgery is not cheap anywhere in any country. It's not cheap. And each surgery used to last for like 4 to 5 hours and in multiple places, and they have to take care of. So it required a lot of doctors and money, and they need to arrange funds. And, there was a time when my family has to take a choice, like, okay, we have to sell this to collect money so we can, pay for the next surgery. So, yeah, it's practically my second birth.
Yeah. That's, and 46 surgeries.
46, yeah.
I think, with all of that, all of everything you've been through, you still, even now, you are surviving after surviving. And it seems like you're thriving. And you said yourself, you weren't always bubbly, you weren't always, very, chipper, but it feels like you're thriving now. And it takes so much strength, not just to feel it, but to show it and to live it.
And inspire the people and just, it definitely takes a lot of strength to be where you are. Like, what were your tools? How did you do it?
Okay, so a lot of people ask me that question, and sometimes I don't know it's in my gene or being positive is who I am or not. It's just like sometimes it's about a choice, You chose to continue to fight. You chose to be positive. It's not like a medicine you're taking a day, I'm going to be positive today. It's nothing like that. It's just like, I don't have a choice, like if I'm continue to not to feel good or not to survive every day, how am I going? And then, like I said, my parents spent so much money to make me this. So I am $1 million baby right now. So basically it's my responsibility it's my responsibility to be happy all the time, because if I feel sad now, and my mom gets to know, then her day goes away. Like, why she's sad. And I live in this country alone, and I'm the first generation who came this far and studied here and living myself here. And then there is a time and moment in everyone's life where you have to choose to continue, go on and keep yourself down. And I think a lot of people suffered from the COVID as well. And then they putting masks and covering their faces. I lived like this for 9 years. I covered my face. I covered everything wherever I used to go.
Wow.
Because my face wasn't done, construction wasn't done completely. I wasn't comfortable showing people other half of my face because I'm not ready yet.
Right.
So I live like people who are living right now, not meeting anyone, not stepping out. So that was my life, like 9 years. I used to go to college and come back and never used to talk to anyone. And then if anybody comes to my house, I used to go back in my room not to meet anyone because I don't want to encourage them, ask me unnecessary question, which gonna touch my wounds all the time, because everybody wants to ask, like, what happened? I mean, like, no matter how many times you tell them, they're going to ask you again. So basically the people who are going through right now, I've gone through that for 9 years. And that's why this COVID did affect me, because in mental way, I would say that, not the physical way, I would say I've done that. I've been there, not meeting anyone, not talking to anyone, only with family members and close people, and not showing my face to anyone, something like that. done that as a patient for a long time. And then if I'd done that for that many years, honestly, COVID is just to surviving another thing as well. And that's what it is. And being a strength is, like I'm saying, you continue to do what you want to do, and it becomes a habit to your mental health that, yeah, you have to be strong. If you cannot be strong, people are going to pin you down, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. And something just came to my mind. It's not necessarily a question that we had prepared, but it's like, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe this is a personal thing, but whenever you get, like, as I like to say, lost in the sauce, or when things just get really challenging for you in your life, whatever that may be, I feel like there are moments that it becomes very clear that you have a decision that you can make to maybe, it's like a fork in the road. You can choose to continue spiraling, or to maybe feel like a victim, or you could choose to take what is a lot of times the harder path and make the hard decisions to then make your life better, you know?
Yeah.
I think it takes 10 times longer to put yourself back together than it does to actually fall apart. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like there are times where it's very clear. It's as clear as day. You have that decision to make, and, you know, should you have the strength to do it, go for it.
I mean, also, like, so most of the time we are always 24/7 kind of working, not physically, but mentally. We are always working, always thinking and thinking. So sometimes what happened to me is like I get exhausted overthinking and planning something for my next project or next thing, what I'm working on or whatever. So when that thing happened, I realized like, okay, my mind is not able to think and I'm unnecessarily taking stress over it. So I give myself a break. Okay, you know what? Like, stop. I need to give my mental a little bit break, not to thinking so much. And I take a break for a few days, and then I go back and trace back all my pattern. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, maybe this will work or something. Because some people are overusing their sensitivity, mentality, psychologically so much. And then when you continue to use so much, what happened? Any product or anything you use so much, it doesn't stay in the same state where it used to be. So I think people should acknowledge their mental health more than anything else. Mental health is a serious issue. You don't have to you don't have to take your mental capability and ability for granted. So every organ need a break. Then why not your brain? You give yourself some credit for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm happy that we talk about mental health so much more today than perhaps in the past.
Yeah.
Because it's not a tangible thing a lot of times. It's not like a scratch that you can just put a Band-Aid on.
Yep.
So it's kind of harder to understand it, to contextualize it sometimes. But it is just as important. It
is super important. Like, I remember back in Rwanda, mental health is, when growing up, it's a country that had just been through a genocide. But still, if you had any, breakdowns or whatever, you were like outcast. You were like you're going crazy. Nobody, thought about it as an important, mental health problem you have. They can treat it. You just were treated as a crazy person. And so I'm really grateful that nowadays we're talking more about mental health, and especially now, as you said about COVID, you experienced what we're experiencing now. I mean, more for 9 years. So I wonder if when the lockdown, it affected you, put you back a little bit in your mind, almost like a PTSD, like that thing that happens it brings you back to those memories. Did something like that happen to you at all, and how did you recognize it, and how did you manage it?
I mean, of course, it is still going. It was a long time, entire 2020. We were all, jailed ourselves in our apartment. And I live in a city. I live in a small apartment. So basically, it's like a window is my nature. Window is everything. It's like whatever is happening out there is there. And I heard every sort of noise, like how suddenly the noises of ambulances and the cop cars started noising. It used to terrifying you. And then I'm like, Holy shit, yeah, wrong, wrong state, wrong country. I should move to, I should move to another place. Then I realized, COVID ruined a big part of the world. So basically, I stay, hang tight.
Yeah.
I can't go anywhere else where COVID is not there, it's everywhere. But it did triggers. What happened is like it bring more loneliness at some point, because how much TV you wanna watch, and then there was a point when you stopped listening about the news as well because it was awful news were coming.
Yeah.
And then how much you can talk to your family all the time and friends all the time, because at some point you feel like I don't have anything to tell you. I don't have nothing there. Like I woke up and started logging into my computer, do my job. It's like, well, what should I tell you? Like, what did I cook? I hate cooking, but then I cooked. So there was a time where I felt like people were talking about like how their kids, they spend their time with their kids, or their so much fighting with their husbands and blah blah blah. And I was like, I don't have anybody to fight with, and I don't have anybody to look after right now. What should I do? So and that is the time only I felt like a couple of times like lonely, and nobody can come to my place and I cannot go to anybody's place. It was all about phone. But I continue to talk and give myself a little different experience to talking to different people, because everybody's going through somewhere or another, right?
Right.
So I did that. I did a lot of meditation, honestly. And but at least now I'm not covering my face the way I used to cover, because that time I was hiding my identity. Now I'm not. And that is the only difference with my 9 years of under the cover and now. But I wish like things get better, but then a lot of things is so many population are not even listening the rules and regulation or covering their face because everything is hoax apparently. So I feel like because of some people, things are going little longer than it is supposed to be, it would have been. And then people saying, oh, we are done with COVID. We are done with the covering faces. I was like, yeah, you're on the list. And so, yeah, what is wrong with you people? Like, if you want things get better, just sit tight at home for 3 months, just 3 months. But you can't heal everybody's brain, right? So you just do in your capacity and let people make their own choices. Everyone is adult now. Even the teenagers are pretty smart now.
Everybody.
So,
I know.
Yeah.
So I'm not being everybody's mother. Do whatever you want to do. Just this is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a journey for everybody, and I think back to our 2020, and it had its challenges like everybody else, but I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to wake up every day.
That's the beauty people forget about. Life is so precious. Life is beautiful. If you are still talking, walking, and eating, you are blessed. Stop. Like this is, it takes a minute to change somebody's life or somebody die. I mean, for me, it was a minute where everything went away, right?
Yeah.
So it's people don't realize how life is beautiful. I mean, if there would be no happiness if there is no sadness.
Right.
If there is no sadness, how will you identify what is happy and what is sad? There has to be a balance. And then if this is the sad time everybody's having or had, I think that means happy time is coming, better time is coming. Just prepare for your better future. That's what you have to do. I don't know why people don't understand that.
Yeah,
So they says like, okay, now the COVID has happened, bad thing happens, so my life always gonna be bad. No, we don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I mean, he says you never know, So if the nature and time doesn't stay same, how come this time we're gonna stay same anyways?
Yeah.
You're preaching to the choir.
Beautifully said.
See, I knew that. I knew that. You guys are already super smart to know that. But
Oh man, no. I'm like, you're like saying it like preach. Like literally, that's what I keep thinking of myself as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's where hope comes in. Like, when you hear a word hope, what comes in your mind?
oh, I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful. I'm like, since, like, like I said, I'm alive and still working.
Yeah.
And I think I can create my better future by myself. And then I think people are getting more conscious. And I think that living your life on a minimalism is back, which is really good. And like, people found real meaning of happiness during COVID as well, because they have done it, they survived it, and everybody was, they learned, about the essentials of life.
Yeah.
And I think if we learn something like that, I mean, it is terrible that nature has to do something this terrible for human beings to understand that.
Yeah.
But I think it was the right time to, I'm like, okay, calm down, people. I'm going to come and ruin it. So basically, I think hope is everything. If you don't have hope, you're a dead person. If you don't have hope, you don't have anything to look forward. If you don't have hope, you are not visualizing the better future. Hope is everything. I mean, you can always hope, right? You can work towards your things, but hoping for the better time, better future, better life, better love, better everything, is that what it is? But without hope, there is no life.
Yeah.
And you want to live life, right?
Too.
Yeah.
Not just exist.
Not just exist, live.
Exactly. Yeah.
Active thing.
Actively live, just think like in a way that you have to make your impression now in this world, because this is basically human beings' second act for me since I was born, right? This is our second act. We had a hurdle for 1 year, and now things are getting better. So now we have to go back in the game as acting like, okay, now this is my second chance. Whatever I couldn't do, I have to do it now. Life is too short. I should not overthink so much. I should not be oversensitive, feel sensitive about something. I just have to follow my dream. So this is everybody's second act, and probably mine is third.
Yeah. Well, it's good to remember to continue to strive to recognize that this is some people's second act, most people's second act, a lot of people's third or fourth.
Yeah.
But just take it. What's the phrase? Seize the day.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't do that, what you're going to do? I need to know that. What you're going to do? Like, feel sad? You want to cry? What you want to do? Like, have more, burgers and...
Let go of it.
It's just like, if there's a time when you overthinking is helping you anything, or not feeling good about helping you in any way, or for a longer time, do that. But then you realize whatever the time we lose during all this time, then we lose. Time doesn't come back.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So, Monica, you have a foundation.
Yes.
That you help people, and we would like for our audience to be able to support you. Can you tell us a little bit about it, and how people can find it, and how they can support your work and your dreams, and
Okay, so I started my nonprofit in 2015 while I was studying at Parsons New School. And I started going and speaking at the United Nations a lot, and then I met so many survivors of rapes and domestic abuse and child marriages and everything. And then I know a lot of survivors of acid attack back in India as well. So a lot of thing was, I've noticed that people are not having the right information where they have to go forward. And then people, you always get into the wrong hands, like a wrong doctor who would keep trying their plastic surgery skills and everything. All these started coming to me when I feel that these women are very talented, but they got interrupted. So I started this nonprofit for becoming as a resource center where people can come, get a support for scholarships and skill trainings where you don't want to go to college or you are not eligible to go to college, but you can learn a skill. And then medical support in terms like having the connect you to the right doctor who can really get you the better results so that you don't have to go under the knife for more wrong procedures or something like that. And then supporting them to support themselves, because I realized that people need to have a skill or something in their hand so that they can feel independent. Yeah. So I started this foundation after my dad's name, called Mahindra Singh Foundation. Mm-hmm. I mean, their website, you can say mahindrasinghfoundation.org. Mm-hmm. And people can find through my name, or they can Google it or go through my Instagram page is there. Yes. But the whole idea was a lot of women, when they suffer something, they lose their goal and dreams which they had before they suffered it, right? Mm. So I feel like they need to remember that they are meant to do something and they've just stopped doing it because they've been in a trauma for a long time. Mm-hmm. So now I'm working on to raise fund for scholarship program, which I'm conducting in 2021 this year, mm-hmm. where I can send some girls to college for their programs and school or skill training, whichever works girls need. Mm-hmm. But these programs are only for violence against women survivors. No, I'm just making it very specific. Yes. So women with an acid attack, rape, and domestic abuse are eligible to get a support from us, and then we will mm-hmm. connect them to the right resources. And whatever the money we will raise, we will take care of their fees and is whatever the fundings they require to achieve that, to do that. So my whole idea was like, I've seen many nonprofit doing so many things, and they're an incredible organization. But then I think like I was at the side of that place where I needed a support some point, but mm-hmm. I couldn't get support mm-hmm. or anything. I just want to change that. And there are a lot of girls in acid attack cases, basically their parents abandoned them because they says you are burnt, you're never going to get married, so you rather leave the house or whatever, you know. Yeah. So I feel like I want to adopt those women in a level there. I say like learn and get on their feet and go up, because I took education so seriously, because for me, more than my face, my brain has to be smart enough for me to keep on fighting. So I think that's girls has to understand that if somebody can support you 1 time, 2 times, get a support which brings you endless resources. Don't look for a small-term support or anything like, oh, give us money now and then we will be happy. No, think in a long direction, Get support to learn something so that you get a job, you feel independent, because even during COVID, domestic case and rape cases rised in such a terrible number where women were living with their abusers, like husbands or whatever it is. They couldn't get out because they were financially depending on those spouses, right? And I tell them, learn a skill, make your life better. Yeah. You don't have to be. And so self-reliant and independent, making these women is my goal, and that's what I'm working on.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the work you're doing. It's incredible. It is incredible. Yeah. And God, definitely women, especially young women, we all need help.
Yeah. And, they all need. Yeah. I mean, in one way or another, right? They have questions. Yeah. Sometimes they get a question or answered by a wrong person or something like that. So they go in a wrong direction, Well,
so they don't even know what they deserve,
Exactly. And there's so much potential everyone has. And then a lot of things, you know that in a world where men are leading so much and women are still fighting to make their place in the same table.
Yeah.
I think because a lot of them get interrupted in their life like I did and then lose their track to keep on going. So I think it's time for making these women as a future entrepreneur, future leader, so that they can join those table as well. We are so many there. And then I think being a woman is a more beautiful thing because we have the power to produce. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's what men cannot do and we can do. So who has the power? I mean, So
I agree.
I mean, I'm saying that of course you need a man for that. I'm not saying that. But the point is, able to create something
Yeah.
is the most gorgeous and a beautiful thing. And so let's not make it more censored. This conversation now.
I think a lot of people are laughing at it.
Yeah, I mean, people love when they hear something like this. So I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, I want to use this time. I think we should scroll through some of these comments, make sure we didn't miss any
questions.
Yeah, I don't think we got any questions now, but we got a lot of people saying hi to you.
I kind of forced them to join me.
No, that's okay. That's great. Chandra, happy to see you.
And he's like, join people, join, I'm coming live.
Well,
yeah.
But so, if we could get you to leave one piece of parting wisdom or advice to anybody, whoever you want to specify it to, what would you say? What's one thing that Monica Singh would like to share to the world?
Yeah.
Love yourself. Keep believing yourself. You have one life. You have one chance to prove who you are. Continue to work in a way that you can leave an impression. And if something doesn't break you, it's make you stronger. And I think we all are stronger because we all survived something which the entire world did, and then a lot of people survived something which is unique in their own way. But having the sanity and clear conscience to yourself, my way of living is I am very authentic in myself. Like I have I have no filters, and I keep it very honest with my conversation, and I do not try to be someone else. I just try to be Monica Singh.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we can do, just don't try to be someone else, just be yourself. And that's what I would always tell to people,
Yeah.
There will be no other Monica Singh then. So I'm good. So right. So you have to think in that direction in a way that what you can do, no one else can. So if anybody's listening this, I just want to tell you that you are unique yourself and nobody else can be you. So love yourself because God sent you for some purpose and reason. And then if you still standing on your feet and for continuing fighting towards it, that means there is a long life and you have a long way to go and show the world what you are meant to be,
Yeah,
that's 100%.
100%. I love that.
I love it, and also
thank you.
That was also a message for me as well. Thank you.
Yeah, I love you, girl. I'm like we always do that.
I love you. I know they say there's no better version of you other than being yourself, So it's thank you so much for all the wisdom that you gave us today, with your smile, your positivity,
thank you,
everything, your strength. There's a lot of love from Consul and Ishima, our shared friend. She said, she said a lot of love, and she called you her Shiros. Yes,
Love you, my
Shiros.
dear friend. You know, we all each other Shiros, you know. So, you know, that's what it is.
Yeah.
This is, and she's amazing.
That's
Thank
great.
you, Monica.
Thank you so
This
much.
was incredible.
It was. It was
Yeah,
enlightening.
yeah.
It was a great way to start our Sunday. We're in the morning, so yeah, it was great, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I had so much fun again talking to you guys.
Thank you.
And thank you for giving me opportunity to put a face on my voice this time. So I'm
Your wonderful face, your $1 million face.
Oh yeah.
yes,
Yes.
I do makeup, you know.
I know you do a great job. I was like, oh my God, I don't know how to do makeup. So I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna.
Yeah,
learn.
it took me years to learn how to make, you know, those Kim Kardashian style makeup and contouring. And I'm like, yeah, I have to be glowing myself. So.
No, you are really good. It's almost like you had somebody else, you know, I know, makeup artist do it for you.
Oh God, I saved my money there. I mean, fashion and makeup is something a lot of people take it as like, oh, don't wear makeup. You know, people love natural beauty and everything. Okay, you can't love my natural beauty anymore, so basically deal with it. So the whole idea is like, you know what, like how people say that, oh, we don't like girls with so much makeup on, and then we like natural beauty. Okay, natural, I'm here. Yeah, you cannot handle it. So you cannot handle it. I would love to be natural, but you cannot handle it, dude. So, makeup and fashion became a power tool for me, honestly speaking.
Yeah.
When I was studying fashion, I realized what I should wear and I can wear to conceal a little bit, but not too much, but it's still looking yourself. Yeah. And makeup became something where I'm again not hiding, but I'm concealing. And then as a girl, I always loved wearing makeup even before the attack. I mean, some girls love makeup. I always loved makeup, right? Mm-hmm. So when I didn't, why would I stop now? You know, I might need it more, yes, but then why would I stop now? Because the world is going natural. You know, you can go natural, you can handle it. Yeah. So in certain things, I would say that I'm a natural by mind, I'm natural by heart. Yeah. But these are my power tool, you know. So makeup is something I feel like it's helped me to define my, you know, whatever it is, whatever I lost as a naturally. I kind of create them, and being into fashion, I can then draw nicely and everything.
I know.
There you go.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, to have joined us today.
Thank you.
And hope you go on Monica's Instagram profile, where you can find her nonprofit, and please support her wonderful work. We will see you next month. Mm-hmm. They're saying you look amazing, you're awesome, you know, all the good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Monica, we'll talk soon.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
You too.